good. They can become very loving.
I thought they were bred just to fight.
They're powerful fighters, so that is what most know. But they form strong bonds with their owners. It is said that the witches of Dathomir even rode them through the forest and fens.
I want to learn to ride this one.
You what?
I want to ride it. I've ridden beasts 10 times its size.
That's what she said.
Teach me. See, this is me. Boba Fett.
We back.
Justin, what is up, everybody? It is your boy, Konnor Jackson, back.
I like it. Formal.
At it again. And I almost wore a suit and tie.
Justin Allen Baker.
Yeah.
I am here as well.
Listen, we're here. Jay Breezy and KonKon back in it again. Here to talk about the 116th episode of KonKon's Cantina, the #1 Star Wars drinking podcast. Did you know that, Justin?
Yes.
The #1.
Confirmed on Wikipedia.
Yeah, it's actually their Wikipedia.
It's on both.
Have you ever been held in the arms by a Wookiee? Shout outs to John Favreau.
Getting bitten in the hand by a Wookiee?
No, it's gonna happen. Episode 3, Book of Boba Fett, Streets of Mos Espa. Guys, you already know real quick the housekeeping. We have new stickers.
Oh yeah, and
People
they're arriving.
have finally been. I wanted Patreon to get them first. Now we need to post them everywhere. Everyone needs to see them. We got some Glossy Boys, some nice vinyls, and guys, social media as always. KonKon's Cantina at all of the social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, except TikTok, which is KonKon's Cantina podcast. Justin?
Yes.
Did you know that Boba Fett himself gave us the beer for this week?
Really?
Yeah, he actually he flew in. It was
slowest ride in on a bantha.
Slow, dude.
Slower than walking pace.
I love how the Tuskens are obviously in nowhere to get anywhere in a hurry. Nowhere.
They literally have speeder bikes. They stole it in the last episode.
They've had speeder bikes. Did they destroy all of them?
No,
I can't remember. They still had some.
Yeah, they had like 2 left.
That's why they came back and stole them back. They had to come and get the rest of it. Everybody, please rate this.
Finish the beer. You said Boba Fett bought this beer.
Oh, we're getting there. Okay. It was his tribute to us.
Oh, that was his. I see where you're going.
It was his tribute to us. We're getting there. Please rate this podcast. As Boba brought us this beer, you too can offer us a tribute by rating this podcast. 5 stars is what we seek, guys. Wherever you listen to the podcast, if you're on YouTube, well, you can't rate it, but you can thumbs up it. So that'd be nice.
Share it.
You can subscribe.
Smash that subscribe button.
Smash that subscribe button.
Turn the bells.
Turn on the bells. Turn on the notifications. The agenda of this episode, once again, is Book of Boba Fett Episode 3, which is the Streets of Mos Espa. And then, of course, we'll be wrapping up this episode with the Cantina Hotline.
Oh, yeah. That's your chance for us to give you a beer.
That is, yes. And we've already had a beer one. We've already had coasters one. We are 0 for 6 in dares, which I'm happy and not happy about.
How do we decide who does the dare? Is it written down?
So first was me, then it was you. This episode is me.
Okay, so if it lands on a dare, it's you.
Yeah, because originally I wanted to put the wheel here, but then it would block the amazing Mando helmets.
No, you can't do that.
If you are one of our audio patrons on YouTube, you will see the setup we have, and we have some Mandalorian helmets on the shelf next to us. So I didn't want to block those. They're too pretty. They're too pretty. I couldn't hide them. Justin,
sir,
we are a Cantina podcast, so we're gonna go into the Cantina right.
It's our claim to fame.
Welcome to KonKon's Cantina. What are you having? But remember, no droids.
Hey, Boba.
It smells good.
Dude, it smells really good.
I like we just both start drinking it and nobody talks. Quality.
Dude.
This is fantastic.
This is super good.
I
And
guess
look at
we
this
should,
color.
Tell the people what it is.
We will. If you are, once again, if you are an audio patron, totally fine, totally get it. But over in the actual cantina right now, DJ Rex is going off, and we have this amazing beer sitting next to us. I asked you to look up the brewery, and we discovered that it was from Wisconsin.
Yes. A very Indian name that I already moved the page and I can't find it, but it's a Wisconsin brewery called
Campology?
Campanology? Campanology Brewing, which is this one was actually found at, you can get it at Trader Joe's.
AKA in this podcast, that is not Trader Joe's.
Aldi's.
That is Aldi's. If you're a longtime listener, you understand that I can never get the two straight. So if I tell you Aldi's, immediately know I mean Trader Joe's. And if I tell you Trader Joe's, no, I immediately mean Aldi. Shout outs to...
That was a hilarious story.
But yeah, that is a good one. Shout outs to Lost... is it Lost Crow Boy?
Lost Girl Boy. Lost Boy 08.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. He's got two of them. But anyway, Josh, one of our patrons, hooked me up with this beer. We are drinking I love how we haven't even said what we're drinking yet. We are drinking a coffee peanut butter cup porter. Basically, a coffee peanut butter porter.
Hitting great on this first little cold snap that we've been missing for a while. This beer is dead on what you want.
See, so I'm smelling vanilla. And I'm smelling coffee. That's what I'm smelling. I actually
I wouldn't say vanilla. I'm getting more like a cream, like like coffee and cream, like
but Bailey's.
Yeah,
Bailey's. Now that you said that, yeah, for sure.
And it's a 9% too.
Josh got us a bomber bottle. He got me that for my anniversary, I believe. So that is extremely good. If that is at Trader Joe's, that's going to be a staple. I got to continue to have that.
Its status is retired. It ended. Apparently.
That's really sad because this is really good. The color is also ridiculous. If you're looking on the YouTubes, it's very, very dark, as most porters are. There's no transparency at all. You cannot see even my finger through the glass. Very, very dark, very motor oil like. There was not a big head, giggity, on pouring this beer. Added a little bit. The thing that I like about this,
it's a sticky beer when you
yeah. The thing that I think I'm enjoying about this most is it's a very, very balanced flavor. I can taste the alcohol on the back end, but it's got all the flavors. It's got the earthy and the bitter of the coffee, and then it's got the sweet of the peanut butter and chocolate.
There's nothing too pronounced. There's nothing that's like in your face too much. It's so, like you just said, balanced is the perfect word.
Dude, this is I'm going to say 10 out of 10, but I think that I would say... I want to say 10 out of 10, but probably 9 out of 10, because I think the only reason you wouldn't like this is if you don't like porters.
Don't like porters, don't like coffee. Some people
don't like. Yeah,
I think the only other downfall of this beer is it's a one and done beer.
Oh yeah, You're not drinking.
You're not drinking more than one of these. Like you'll thoroughly enjoy the one that you have, but you're never gonna go like I could do another pint of this right now. Great campfire beer.
Yeah, this is really.
That needs
really
to go
good.
on the list if you see it to grab and wait for a nice campfire.
9 out of 10.
I love camping.
9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. I agree.
Yeah, 9 out of 10. Guys, this week, Book of Boba Fett. Gut reaction, Justin. How did you feel about this episode? Give me a 1 out of 10. I always hit you with this. You just know this is coming.
I know. Well, I had one reaction, and then I watched it 2 more times. I've seen it 3 now, and I kind of shifted. I give it a 5 down the middle.
Oh, dang, that low?
I don't think of 5 as it being a negative. Like,
okay.
I think for it's a bad episode if it's less than a 5.
Okay.
I think if it's a 5, it's kind of like just down the middle. The thing I do like about the episode was I feel like we kind of got some payoff, and like, why the heck were we spending so much time in the flashbacks?
Yeah.
And so much time or little time in the current day without really any plot moving forward.
Yeah.
So this episode, finally, now we know like the Pike Syndicate is a way bigger player, so it ties into his early experiences with the Pike Syndicate, with the Tuskens, and now we got Pike Syndicate back with him as a crime lord, so there's already going to be probably some really bad blood. So it kind of like balances out why we spent so much time on that and gives me like some peace of mind, but otherwise still, this was one amazing fight scene. Give it its props.
Yeah, it was cool for sure. Yeah.
And a way too long of a road chase, like through the streets of Tatooine.
I like this. It's almost like we're doing like a little synopsis before we get into the
breakdown.
breakdown. I like this. I I hope that we are now done with flashbacks.
At least way less.
At least
if
way
anything.
less. Because I feel like the whole him being in the Bacta and then waking up was starting to get really repetitive.
Like super repetitive.
And it made me feel like nothing was happening.
It was good to see the Bacta wake up, and it'd be a completely different, like, straight up ripped out of the Bacta.
Just yeeted. I do hope that our female stunt lady in the Tuscan, the cool Tuscan chick,
survived slaughter.
BK was awesome. Rancor was awesome. The chasing in the biker gang was really lackluster.
Felt slow. And way too long.
And it felt so almost not Star Wars.
Yeah.
Almost.
I think the super vivid, bright colors of them kind of took me out of Star Wars because everything is kind of just muted.
And everything on Tatooine is muted, but their bikes were
glossy,
super
vivid,
weird. It looks like that they should not belong on Tatooine.
I dubbed them. You dubbed the group one thing. I dubbed them on their scooters the Rowdy Ruckus Riders.
The Rowdy Ruckus Riders. If you don't know what a ruckus is, tell them what a ruckus is.
Ruckus is like the most popular customizing for a scooter. Like low, they're like 50cc. I think they might make some bigger ones, but they're little put around town scooters.
Yeah,
bar hop in, like if
college
you live
kid.
in a college, like a little downtown area. Then that's the first thing I thought. They were like Bo Suzuko custom ruckus scooters. Yeah,
I think it's interesting that we're getting so much cool new vehicles in new Star Wars live action. We had Cobb Vanth riding Anakin's engine for his speeder. We obviously had the Razor Crest, which was a huge thing, which I'm so glad you finally agree with me on that.
No, it is
I'm
the
glad.
Razor Crest. I know.
What? You don't remember?
No, it is the Razor Crest.
You don't remember?
I don't remember what.
Oh, Justin.
What happened?
I've waited for this moment because sometimes...
Did I say something?
You did, and the best thing ever is when you finally say something yourself. You literally said it in the Discord.
Oh, you got on my computer.
No, I didn't. Read that for the people. What did you say in our Discord?
Guys, I finally admit that It's KonKon is right about the Razor Crest. It's the manufacturer of a ship. It's really the only explanation. Jay Breezy out. When did you do that?
When did you do that? What are you asking me for?
How did I not see it?
Clearly, everybody, if you're not in our Discord, get in it. There is a link in our link tree. Jay Breezy finally letting out that the Razor Crest, I was
Fake
right
news.
all along. Wrong.
Yeah.
Guys, the vehicles. Vehicles have been a huge thing in new live action Star Wars. Me and you both enjoy the Razor Crest immensely. Super, super sick ship.
Yep.
All of even the new gang that we're seeing now, their swoop bikes are a style we've never seen before.
Oh yeah, never seen like a in between.
Yes.
Like,
super
like
cool.
Weird small ship.
Yeah.
Bike, whatever.
Really enjoying it. My overall rating for this episode, 7 out of 10. I'm going back to episode 1. And a lot of that I feel
like
was
episode 1 was definitely better than this.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, this is probably going to be one of those episodes that, looking at it when the whole thing is done, it's like just going to piece stuff together.
Yeah.
It's just it's hard when you're waiting a full week and you're waiting. You don't know, number one, how long it's going to be.
Yeah.
Is it going to be a 30-minute episode or a 50-minute episode? And you get one that's just like, yeah, it's connecting some dots and some story, but like that's kind of it.
And also I think one thing that this show is currently suffering from is we're stationary. We're only in two places.
I've almost stopped beating that dead horse.
Well, I don't mean this in a grand scheme of things. I mean, remember why I told you I didn't like El Canto?
Mm-hmm.
When you stay in one place, it makes everything seem slow. Mm-hmm. We're not going anywhere. We're not moving. Yeah, we're going back and forth in time, but everything
Dare
is...
you speak ill of Encanto.
Sorry, bro. Everything is in Mos Espa, or everything's at Jabba's palace.
Yeah.
And I think that hinders the show.
Yeah, it's not only we're stuck on one planet, we're stuck in one city of a planet.
Yeah, that kind of repetition of going back to the same place makes it feel like that the plot isn't moving, even though by the end of this, we do get some movement. So let's get into this breakdown. We pan down to Jabba's palace. D-88 shows Boba the city and who controls the different sectors.
The cool thing that that first opening
interrupting
scene,
me all freaking ready.
I gave you the opportunity to talk about it, but apparently you don't know your Star Wars lore.
Hey, listen, it is what it is.
The little Bamar monk that crawls by on the spider, which they are freaking amazing. Like
Yes.
if you actually know what they are, they're monks that were wanting to like not isolate, but like get rid of all fleshy pleasures, whatever you want to call it. So they get their
physical attachments.
Yeah, physical attachments.
Yeah.
They get their brain taken out.
And they're obsessed with living forever.
Yes. So they get their brains taken out and put into these little jars, and then they give them little spider legs so they can still walk around wherever they want.
And you can see one of these not only in the beginning of this episode, but in the beginning of Return of the Jedi.
Yes. And the reason you always see them around Tatooine is Jabba straight up stole their monastery. Jabba's palace
That is the
is the
monastery.
Bamar monks' monastery.
Fantastic.
And he liked that they looked creepy, so he just like let them, like he took over, but lets them do their thing.
You just like, yeah, you can hang out.
But that's why you'll always see him scampering around
How
the
did they
dunes.
build it? Man, shout outs to Battlefront, the
They
first Battlefront.
We're not over their fleshy desires yet.
Yeah,
they
yeah,
built
we
it,
need
then
the-
they went
exactly.
Jarbrain.
Did you see the guy in Fortnite builder community? They built Jabba's palace like
I didn't see that.
1-to-1 scale. Yeah, it was pretty cool. 3 families or 3 sects control the city. Finnick and Boba speak further about who sent the Nightwing assassins. Do you think it's weird that we keep coming back to the assassins?
No, because I mean it was a super public event.
Do you think they were like, now that you've seen a couple more episodes, do you think they were like kind of dodo assassins?
I thought they were that. Like I thought that whole scene was just kind of stupid.
Okay.
Even in the first episode, but
I mean,
like yeah.
I don't
It's
know. I'm
what-
kind of like, I want to stop talking about them.
Yeah, I like let's move on.
Yeah, let's
Like
move
yeah,
on.
you got embarrassed. Like I get it, but you
Yeah.
don't have to keep bringing it up.
Yeah, I got you. An unexpected visitor comes before Boba. He is a watermonger, telling Fett that nobody respects him and the streets have straight turned to chaos.
respect.
This guy has been in a ton of movies.
Lortha Peel is the character, and he's played by Stephen Root.
Dude, Stephen Root is in a ton of stuff, and he's in some funny stuff too.
He's got that face that like like, hey, I know that guy.
He's always he's in a movie, and of course I'm trying to remember it.
That
so-
one guy that's an actor that's in a movie.
Yeah, that exactly. And he's like
He's in that one movie with the
uh-huh.
other guy.
You know what? I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna move right along. He says,
That girl's in it too.
quote, "I'm offended on your behalf." I love that. The whole time this guy's like, look, you should be ashamed. I'm ashamed for you.
I'm not saying you're a wuss. I'm super offended that all these guys are saying it.
By the way, you're a wuss. Yeah. Explaining to Boba that he needs him to help because a youth gang keeps stealing his water. Can they not have anything else? How have we not had a Bantha milk reference yet?
Yeah. It's
Like blue
Tatooine.
milk?
I mean, that's all they have is their water. Well, I guess we got the milk from the Tuscans have that milk that they dig up.
Yeah, those water things. We
Yeah.
also had the... I would like more explanation on drinks in the Star Wars universe. Because we have so many cantinas, and we have the cantina scene in the beginning of Attack of the Clones. Then we have the
Like you want
Tashi.
names to the things?
Yeah,
or
like I
something?
want, like in the books, we
Yeah.
have Corellian rum. Mm-hmm. We have
Corellian wine, Alderaanian wine.
We have
engine
the-
room hooch.
the Shriwook. Shriwook is what they speak, but we have the
Kashyyykian.
Kashyyykian something. There's
Yeah.
what am I trying to think of? Anyway,
I don't know. Let's
But
just go with bourbon.
yeah, it's a
Whiskey.
Kashyyykian, whiskey, a Wookiee whiskey.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, I want that.
That's $1 million idea. This is trademarked Disney. Don't you even dare bring this into your next live action like you already stole Swoop Bike Gang from us.
The Swoop Bike boys always drink Wookiee whiskey.
Speaking of, back to the recap, I would just like more.
Yeah,
We're drinking vodka. Come on,
yeah.
I want more.
Give us some stuff to try to recreate.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that blue stuff that they were drinking crazy in The Mandalorian.
Yeah, spotchka.
Yeah, Spotchka.
Yeah,
yes.
exactly. The gang is a group that combines droid parts with their own bodies to
Awesome
make them
idea. I love
stronger.
it. I love them.
Cyborg, bro.
Uh-huh.
Are they doing it willingly?
Yeah, because remember, says I paid a lot for this eye.
I wonder the process of being like, look, just numb me up, Doc. Or are they going to like a Jawa?
I feel
You
like
know-
it's got to be some underground,
Yeah.
like seedy, like back alley guy.
I wonder
that's
what the
doing this.
infection rate is. Like you may have got a robotic arm, but the socket you attached it to, well, the gangrene
Yeah.
sets in.
That's gross.
As night falls, Boba, along with his posse, look for the so-called troublemakers. They find them outside of what appears to be a club, and they confront them about stealing the water. The gang explains to Boba that they are being taken advantage of by not only the people that they are stealing from, but also the city as a whole.
Literally zero intimidation factor from Boba to them.
Zero.
Don't give a crap.
No
who he
warning
is.
shot.
Like, yeah, bro, we know who you are. We just don't care.
It's like you're hanging out in the part of the mall where you're not supposed to when you were teenagers, and the security guard comes up and he's like, hey, you guys got to move.
Like, you can't do anything.
And you're just standing there with your skateboard thinking that you're above the law, and you're just like...
My soaps.
Or your soaps. Yeah.
Soaps are the mall.
So crazy. They bring out later, there's no work in the city, and the merchants are overcharging. Boba, nice guy Boba, of course, offers them a job.
I did, like, that guy was charging a lot for water. He was charging 1 month's wages
a
week's worth of water.
For a week's worth of water. Well, what is that, 400% increase?
Yeah.
Something like that? Speaking of, he comes running out, upset, yelling.
I like that.
What was he doing?
Had to be like,
Was it
like,
a setup?
I don't know, but he had to have been like sitting in the doorway, just waiting and listening. And the second Boba changes his like, I was like, oh, you guys want a job? He's like, whoa! You're just gonna let him do this? Like, that guy was right there, eavesdropping like a child.
Yeah, it was super weird. And that Boba doesn't even threaten him. He just tells him, if you don't like it, move.
Mm-hmm. You can go back to Mos Eisley.
You can go sell in Mos Eisley.
Fennec is like, like that's some type of joke that I don't get. Like,
I don't know. I guess Mos Eisley,
Is
the
that a dump or
scum
something?
of
I don't
wretched place for
That's
hive and
that
villainy.
is the quote.
Yeah, I mean that exactly. That's why I quoted it. End quote. We're just on something today.
My dog died.
That's true, guys. If you didn't know,
Low energy today.
Justin's dog had to be put down.
Yep.
Moment of silence for Bruiser. All right. You said. You are sad though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My entire family is literally crying for like 24 straight hours, so it's not fun.
Well, guys, back to the
Back
recap.
to Star Wars.
Back to Star Wars.
This episode is a banger. I can already feel it.
Boba doesn't even threaten him. He simply tells him to, like we said, move out, and he also tells him to cut his prices. Back to the Boba, back to tank. We have more Camino dreams. Seeing Jango leave in the Slave One again.
Oh, the fire spray.
I think that this is the events right before Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, because I was while we were rewatching, I was like, why do they keep playing this one specific scene? Like the pan across. Why am I drawing a blank of what the stupid? Oh my god, Camino. Thank you. They pan across Camino.
Yeah.
And it's Boba inside. He watches the fire spray because I can't call it Slave One anymore. Apparently,
yeah.
Watches it take off, and then you see the reflection of his face into the glass. End scene.
Yeah.
Like shot for shot, the exact same thing. Like, what is the importance of this?
Yeah. I think that what I brought up to you is if this is right before the events of Attack of the Clones, this is where Boba's life as he knows changes forever.
So he's not just living on Camino.
Dude, we go to Geonosia.
Yeah. And then Daddy dies.
And then Daddy dies, and we go on to live the life that we thought of the story that we were going to get, which is Boba. But we get no sunscreen sand Boba instead. Mm-hmm. No, it is what it is. Anyway. Riding his bantha, he leaves his Tusken tribe behind at an amazing impugnant 2 miles.
We did get a dank ferric too. Thrown in.
We did get a dank ferric. We'll talk about it here in a second. Upon entering the city on his bantha, Boba seeks an audience with the Pikes. Mm-hmm. We have another Mandalorian reference.
Oh yes.
Not only do we get the Navarro spikes, but in the background you pointed out to me.
Pele Moto. One of the most funny characters.
Oh, one of the gleaming lights of Mandalorian seasons 1 and 2.
She's trailed by her pit droids, like still like Dodo walking behind her, like head bobbing as they walk, like
fantastic.
Yeah.
I thought when I first saw the Navarro head spikes, that's what I'm going to call them, even though this is the Mos Espa head spikes, I felt like it was being thrown in our face a little bit. You know, kind of like
look, guys, same thing. Like look, see what we're doing. A little heavy-handed.
I understand the continuity, like it adds to the story, but I really liked that as a Navarro thing, because maybe like a lot of really bad stuff happens to Navarro, because I feel like...
Not like the entire planet of Tatooine, this is what we do, like that was their like personal thing.
Because in the Darth Vader comics, it's made very clearly that the Empire wasn't interested in Tatooine because they didn't believe that it was too populated, so they knew the rebels weren't going to be there. So they weren't heavily interested in, from Darth Vader's perspective, and they also didn't mess with the Hutts, nor did the Hutts draw attention to themselves because they didn't want the Empire there.
Kind of the same thing, the way in this episode the Hutts are like, whoa, we don't want war. We out.
It's bad for business. We're out. So I thought that was a little odd, to say the least. Meeting with the Pikes expressed to Boba, even though they are open to doing business with Fett, they have already given their business to the Striders, the Sand Riders, which is the gang that we see throughout this show currently. Assuring the Pikes that they will not see the Sand Riders again, Boba returns to his Tusken village to find it destroyed.
The slowest journey ever.
What did you say? A 20-minute walk is a 40-minute bantha ride?
Yeah.
That thing is super slow. Boba gathers and burns. Big old bantha lips. Boba gathers and burns the bodies of the dead.
So we specifically were trying to see the bodies they show. And because we don't want the chick trainer, the fighter, the melee trainer.
No way she's dead.
We don't want her to be dead.
No
they
way.
did not show her body specifically. They did not show her gaffy stick specifically. So if you follow standard movie tropes, if you don't see the body, the person's not dead. And that's our hope.
The other thing, too, is like Boba could barely beat her. She trains him. He whoops all of their A's inside Tashi Station. But you're telling me, like, 5 days later, they just come by and kill all of them?
Yeah, the people who have been fighting like that, who also still are amazing sniper shots, like, capabilities. It's not like they don't know how to use a blaster.
Yeah, and if they did have their speeder bikes, they would have heard them coming, like they did the train. I don't know. Not a lot's making sense. Hopefully we get a little bit of something.
Yeah,
I think
we see definitely the chief. We see the chief's staff. We assume the child because he pulls out the little child's mini stick, fake gaffy stick.
Yeah,
but we don't see her body and we don't see her gaffy stick. So hopefully she will make a reappearance.
Yeah. Finally, as he is going through his dream, Boba is ripped out of his bacta tank.
Everything we wanted, everything you specifically pleaded for happened.
I was like, please let this big black Wookiee throw somebody across the room like a grown man. And literally, bacta tank gets ripped open.
From the second he like just yeets the tank open, everything like it doesn't even drain. It's just like all over the floor,
gushing,
ruin the carpet,
ruin the floors. He throws Boba around the room like a rag doll. Before
Boba is covered in what can only be like KY lube.
Dude, it was like,
why you so lubed up, boy?
Why you so
what
oily?
You doing in there?
Yeah, they did a real good job of making him continue to look wet throughout the entire scene. He throws him into his armor. He tries to get off his hand laser, or it was either that
the rockets,
the little rocket. Yeah, it was a little salvo because it doesn't appear that he has.
It wasn't whistling birds, but it was the same thing that he shot and killed the guy that was trying to escape.
Yeah, the Nightwind guy. Yeah.
And dude, he wrecked him with the gaffy stick. If you actually notice, like he stabs him in like the back of the leg,
and
then when he does the overhand smash into his back, like
it stays
stuck into him. That was pretty freaking cool.
I want like a you know how they're like animals have stats on like how much like bears have so much body fat, so it's hard to hurt a bear because yeah. I want to know like how much you have to get into a Wookiee to hurt a Wookiee.
Shout out to the to Cyborg space
we're getting there. We're getting there. Finally, this guy is throwing people around like a rag doll. Before BK, however, can kill Boba, the Lost Boys, without Peter Pan, show up and absolutely start murking him. Yes, we are calling them the Lost Boys.
That's like all I can think of now after you said that is like a Hook.
Yeah.
Like, which one's Rufio?
Yeah. It's the girl.
Yeah.
100%.
Like, she rolls up with like a freaking like Swiss Army knife pocket. Like,
she does it so. She's like so. Whoosh, and just like.
Like, what are you doing with that? Like, that's not going to
him.
get through the Wookiee's pelt. Like, why would you come at him so confident?
And it's like,
that's supreme confidence.
Did you notice it was it had like an electrostatic? You know, not like a vibroblade, but it had some sort of
kind of like his brass knuckles that he had,
those
were like
things
stun electric shock brass knuckles.
Yeah, those things were no joke. How did you feel about... I really liked everything that was BK beating up on Boba.
Mm-hmm. I didn't care for the fight scene with all of the Lost Boys. I did like him facing off against the 2 Gamorrean guards, though.
Yes, I did
That
too.
was really cool. There was something about, I don't know, like, that part was the least interesting part of the fight.
They look like a class... They look like the class that you pick in Cyberpunk.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, Cyberpunk is.
They're almost, and I saw a lot of this on. I saw this a lot of this on Twitter today. They're on the verge of weird, where it might not be Star Wars weird. Like Star Wars can have weird, but then there's like sci-fi weird, and what Star Wars usually does so good is staying on the Star Wars weird side. And maybe we get more of them. But we're definitely going to get more of them.
The cyberpunk is a perfect description. Like the cyborg enhancements, the bright colors, the hairstyles that they had were very like...
It did not seem Tatooine. If they were like, oh yeah, we're visiting here from Coruscant or something like that.
Yeah.
100% would have been like, oh, totally get it. But they seem very, very out of place. Was it? Did you appreciate that?
Keep that accent up for the rest of the
I
episode.
can't do it.
We're visiting here from Coruscant.
Shaka souffle. You liked the Gamorrean guards fighting them.
Yeah, I like almost like BK like saw him. He's like, oh crap, I got to deal with these guys right away.
Because they're similar to size.
Well, he drops the Lost Boys and stops paying attention to them and just straight charges, clotheslines both of the Gamorrean guards at once.
Yeah, I knew that they were more than likely the threat.
And they're the only ones who got him to actually scream out in pain, if you paid attention.
Yeah.
The only time that you got a Wookiee scream was when that one Gamorrean guard just like, I can't remember what he hit him with over the back.
His freaking boomerang hook thing.
Scimitar blade.
Dude, yeah, he ganked him with it. Forced into the throne room by the Gamorrean guards, as we've talked about, BK is finally dropped into the Rancor
How
pit.
are they still falling for that? I don't get it. It
It
is a 2 foot by 2 foot square.
I was going to say, you brought up that the door looked really small, but do you think that it only looks that small because of BK? Because if you look at it in Return of the Jedi, it is ginormous.
I don't know, but like...
Think back to when Luke falls down with that Gamorrean guard. Dude, it's like 6 feet wide.
Yeah.
Because remember, his whole thing glides over it.
But it's still... Like, BK worked for Jabba. There's no way he didn't know that there's a giant Rancor pit. There's a obvious metal gate.
Let's get this out of the way right now. I feel that there is a weird continuity error in this episode, and that is when BK gets released, which we'll get to, and then we're just going to talk about it now. BK and Boba literally know each other. They worked for Jabba the Hutt long before Boba ever worked for the Empire. In fact, the reason why Boba starts working for Darth Vader is because Darth Vader goes to Jabba and says, I need two bounty hunters. I need the best bounty hunters you have to do a job. And Boba presents him Black Chrysanthemum and Boba the Fett. Boba, this is me. Boba the Fett. Boba Fett, right? Like, they know each other. So later when he's released, the way that Boba talks to him, and I could just be reading too much into
Take it from an ex-bounty hunter.
Like, bro, he knows you're an ex-bounty hunter. You guys literally did a job together. I need your thoughts.
I don't get it either. Like, it's the little stuff like that drives me crazy. Like
we can pull Black Chrysanthemum in as a whole. Amazing. Great nod to the comics. Glad you're doing it.
It's almost like it's for the casual fan. Like, if they knew each other, that would have been too overwhelming, so they just keep it super simple. Like, well, how does he know this guy? We've never seen this as a brand new character. How do they have any type of relationship?
That's Black Chrysanthemum. I used to work with him when I worked for Jabba.
No, that's too hard.
How hard is that? Was that the one line?
That was way too complicated.
Okay, he couldn't learn that line,
Cut that
right?
for time.
Oh, gotcha. You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, no, I'm on,
it's really weird.
Like the same. Agree.
Not. I had to throw it out there. Not complaining. Still very much enjoying it.
It's just weird when
it's weird.
It's weird when Disney wanted to be like, oh, everything that's old canon is erased, so now everything is canon. Yeah, and then you get something canon. That like, yeah, they're bringing in something that canon, but like, oh, we're going to ignore all this.
Yeah,
like this. Well, that's a comic.
We have no source material. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, that quote is proven not what she meant.
I know.
Don't. Turn into one of the...
Over their next meal, Finnick and Boba discuss their move. Before they can decide, of course. Dude, the food looked amazing.
Well, I'd go that far.
And, later in the episode, remind me... we'll get to it. Huge feast before them. Before they can decide, however, the twins show up at their very own front door. As a gift of apology to Boba, they offer him a young Rancor. The twins,
calf.
however, a calf, yes. Mm-hmm. The twins, however, are not staying on planet. Why? The territory has been promised to another syndicate by the mayor. BK,
We've both been lied to.
We've we had more twins scene, another twin scene. I still really enjoy both of them as a character.
To skate it over that Danny Trejo is
We're
the
getting
Beastmaster.
to him. We're getting to him.
Oh, well, you said you presented him with the Rancor.
I did. But we have the whole. I want to ride it.
Yeah. Look at me. Look into my eyes. I'm writing it now.
I am writing it now. How did you feel about the twins? We got more twin stuff.
That was quintessential Hut to me.
Yeah.
You're like, this is getting too sketchy. I just want to we don't want to fight. We just want to be the ruling our crime syndicate. We're not about to get in here on territory battles of a stupid, worthless planet.
Yeah. I love that they said that because I know that you had a moral victory inside because you're like, 100%. I hate Tatooine. And I just like hearing Huttese. I feel like it's the most developed Star Wars language that we hear. We even get like Mando speaking, Din Djarin speaks Huttonese, and when he's talking to the passenger, the frog lady, he tries to speak Huttese to her, which is cool. So I really enjoyed seeing more of them. Black Chrysanthemum is then released. Inside the dungeon of Jabba's palace, we learn that this new baby Rancor that he has is depressed. Now talk about the Beastmaster.
Depressed.
Talk about the Beastmaster.
I mean, it's Danny Trejo.
It's,
like
dude,
you know,
it's awesome.
like you
Everyone
immediately
sees
like
him.
yes, you know who he is. Like Cholo, Mexican, gangster thug in almost everything you've ever seen.
Yes, I said that I really, really want to see in an interview. I want to hear him talk about the phone call that he got and who called him and was like, "Hey, I got to roll
in Star Wars.
You want to be in Star Wars?" He's like, "Yeah, like of course I want to be in Star Wars." I loved it. I thought that he did great. We're gonna see him again.
I hope so.
What do you feel about the Rancor? You think it's a trap?
No, I don't think it's a trap at all.
You don't think so?
No.
You think it's completely legitimate?
I think it's completely legit.
Here's my thought process. If the Hutts were leaving because it was already promised to the Pikes, why send BK?
Because they didn't know it yet then. That's what they said. They're like, we sent him to kill you. Our bad. We just found out we were both being lied to.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
That's convenient.
Well, that's like what they found out, and then they're like, we out. Like, we're not getting mixed up
I don't know.
in this.
I feel there's something else going on. I think the Rancor's a trap. Oh, we'll see.
No, 100%. There is 0% chance that in the 7th episode, Boba Fett is not riding that thing, wrecking the Pike Syndicate's base.
The whole city of Mos Espa.
No, it's going to be wherever the
walls.
Pike's center of operations are. He's going to come in there
through the ground. The gloved hand of Boba Fett, the Rancor, trimmer style. Just
there's 0 chance that doesn't happen on episode 7. I'll call that right now.
You're calling it?
Yeah.
Okay. My one prediction of BK throwing somebody, that came true, so I'm super happy about that. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Back to the recap, we find out that the baby Rancor is depressed, apparently. Boba begins...
Can these creatures have these feelings?
Boba begins to bond with his new Rancor. He says, I want to ride it. I have ridden beasts 10 times its size.
And you brought up a great point.
Okay, so
this has to be a shout-out, callback, whatever you want to say, to the holiday special.
It has to be holiday special Boba Fett, because specifically, I've ridden beasts 10 times its size. We've only seen Boba Fett ride one other beast.
He's riding a goddamn brontosaurus.
It's like a brontosaurus Loch Ness monster type thing. It has to be a reference to that, which I really enjoyed.
And he's holding the Ambin Phase pulse rifle, which is the gun that the Mandalorian starts to have.
It looked short though.
No, that's what it was. That's where they got the gun from.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a long rifle.
From Holiday Special, and Mando's was long, but what Danny was holding.
Oh, no, I wasn't talking about Danny. Okay.
But Danny is legit, he has the same thing. You didn't notice that?
The whole point of that gun was for large beasts.
Yeah. It was like a shortened version. Maybe it was without the rifle. It was just
like
the
a shotgun version.
Yeah, just the tiny
the prod.
Yeah, just the prod. That was the word I was looking for, like what we get cattle with.
Yeah. My roping days.
Dude, the Rancor looked really, really good.
It did. It looked perfect.
There had to have been
that had to really be there. That was practical.
That was all practical. Looked really, really, really good. And the septum piercing for
I was like, unneeded. Didn't really think about that.
Jeez. Now we're laughing with no context.
I did it again.
You did it again. You're creating more work for me. Anyway,
I'll tell you guys in person.
we have to then we go to the mayor, right? We establish once
Mock
again
Shaz is dirty.
Mock Shaz is
He's a
dirty.
Dirty mayor.
We are treated with the absolute grace of the mayor's representative. Again, this guy,
The major domo.
bro, never fails. This guy is absolutely fantastic.
He is such a good, he's a great actor, whoever he is.
I want him on a trading card or something, or a Black Series figure. If there's a Black Series figures of him, I want it, and then I want a plaque, and I want to pose him like this, and it's just going to say, my apologies. That's it. He goes to find the mayor, locks the door, and flees on his speeder. And in my opinion, this is where the entire episode goes to crap.
I agree. I concur.
We're going to be nitpicky for a second. And I feel that
I'm always up for a car chase scene normally.
I am too.
And this one was just...
It wasn't it.
It did it all wrong. It felt slow and clunky.
Very slow and clunky.
It felt cheesy. It felt campy in a lot of the instances.
Yeah.
Like, there were a few cool moments, like, with the scooters where they're like
the wall
ride thing, and like some of that was okay, like when the dude slid underneath the water. It was, how did we look at how long it was? It was like at least 5 minutes.
It was like 4 minutes.
That needed to be a 1 minute scene.
This was a 31-minute episode, and almost 1/6 of it was this chase scene. Like, if you take out the intro, the recap, and then the episode, and then we have the credits, there was only 31 minutes of time, which is, fine. It is what it is. It was very long and drawn out.
And the major domo basically is acting like he's never driven a vehicle before the entire time. And they're having a chase scene at like 15 miles an hour through the streets.
You know what I think a big thing about it was too is I feel like they really did a lot of this chasing. Okay, like if you think about the stunts that were done, a lot of this was real. This was practical.
They're all on one wheels.
They're all exactly.
Yeah.
There was something that this was practically done, but the domo doesn't have hair. You don't get a zoom in on the main. Well, even wind blowing through hair.
Yeah,
like,
I literally have this written down that like the girl specifically, when she was on the rooftop and she was pulling the Anakin, where she drops down on top of him.
It's Skywalker. I had that. Yeah.
She literally has no movement in her hair.
Yeah.
She's supposed to be like A, going fast, B, falling through the air. Her hair is just like a very slight.
We're not movie makers. We're just pointing out a
we
obvious
know that they can do it because they did a killer chase scene in Solo.
Budget? I mean, there's a big difference here.
But like, I mean, they can make it look fast. Like, there's other ways. I don't know. It was just. It seemed
slow.
It seemed like something we should have loved that we didn't like.
Yes, it was tough for me. And then. The thing that kind of like nailed the coffin for me is we could have shortened the chase scene and still had the same ending, which is he crashes, but better yet, instead of having him crash, why not just have Boba land in front of him with the jetpack like he does?
Yeah, that was the best moment of it. Is Boba?
It looked really
rocketing
good.
Down, yeah,
rocketing down. Why not have him rocket down in the middle of the street and doing kind of like the Joker, like the hit me, like stand in the middle of the street. He's a wuss. He stops.
Yeah.
Then we still have the scene of the chick, doing that sick stop. I don't know. It was very drawn out.
Then nothing else happens for the rest of the episode.
The perception of speed was not there. When we think of the pod racing scene, when we think of the indoor speeder bike
Through
chase,
the trees, yeah.
when we think of Anakin going through the Dune scene, when we even think of Mando and fake Han Solo going to find Finnick in the Dune Sea, when we think about Boba riding his bantha in the beginning of this episode,
That's exactly what this chase seems like. That bantha could have
could have outrun him, with that speeder. Speeder looked sick though, like the
it looked like an old like Cadillac front end, like the headlight portion and then the big grill. It was a cool looking speeder.
Yeah, it was a very, very cool looking land speeder. I really enjoyed it. Back in finishing up the recap of the episode, a Starline ship lands in Mos Espa, and arrived have the Pikes in greater numbers.
They're going to war.
Boba is then informed that, of course, this is the Pikes, and Finnick infers that war is coming. So war between the syndicates. Boba doesn't have an army.
No.
The Pikes have an entire planet.
He has some Lost Boys, 2 Gamorreans, Finnick, and a single Rancor.
How is your suspension? I'm a very big suspension of disbelief person. I don't know if I've ever asked you this, but I say this a lot. And that is, if you show me things that simply don't make sense, it hurts the suspension of disbelief, which makes me kind of draw back and draw away. If Boba doesn't prove that he can beat an army, and then he beats an army,
well, he's only gotten beaten up at every scene.
That's going to be a loss for me. I hope it doesn't go that way, but that's just me speaking in relative terms.
How cool would it be if he contacts all his bounty hunter contacts, and his army is just stacked with amazing hunters.
What's going to happen is he's going to meet with the 3 families that make up the cities. And he's going to say, the Pikes are here to take your city from you. We're not going to let that happen, and we're going to stand up to the Pikes. Right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's what's going to happen.
We've already set it up that there's 3 families. We know that's for a reason. It was foreshadowing, for sure.
Yeah. Justin, it's time to spin the wheel.
Hit that game show music.
Justin, it's that time again.
The best music ever. Every time I hear it, I'm just
it puts you in a good mood.
Bobbing along this is our
I just want to snap. Yeah,
this
exactly.
is our jizz music.
Yeah, I just want to snap my fingers and I want to be leaning against a record player, putting out the vibe,
Mm-hmm.
All right, Justin. I happen to have a chance cube here.
Okay. We got 5 calls that we're going to highlight this week.
Dude, this thing slid.
Uh-oh.
It landed a number 1.
Numero uno.
Let us see who our first caller is to get the chance at the wheel. It's always the casual kid, a.k.a. Jordan. He always calls first.
I remember his voicemail popped up at Wednesday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Already left his call.
2 o'clock.
Yeah,
2 o'clock.
Yeah.
2 o'clock. Well, let's get Jordan's wheel spin in real quick.
And Konnor is making his way over to the wheel. The best sound ever. Whose dare is it if it's a dare? Is it my dare or your dare if it lands on it? Okay. He must not be able to hear me right now.
Ice Justin. Ice Justin. Ice Justin.
What is it on?
It's Dare Jar.
Who is it this week?
It's me. So we have to roll the chance cube again. So let's see. I landed on number 6. All right, hang on. I gotta get
what that means.
I know. I gotta get the. I have the dares numbered, so I don't remember what number 6 was. Let's see.
We'll edit this part out.
Of course, it's not showing up in my phone now. I had all the dares written down, and I'm searching my notes, and of course they're not there. I'll come back with what it is.
I'll come next week anyway.
Yeah, I got to do it next week anyway at the start. So I'll come back with it. For some reason, it's not coming up in my phone. Probably because I spelled something wrong and I don't even remember. That is most likely the obvious thing. Justin, are you ready to get into these call-ins?
The casual kids call. I'm excited.
Yeah, let's just get right into the casual kid, aka Jordan.
Guys, here are my poorly written show notes for BOBF EP 3. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, Spider-Man 4, sand is your home now. Come on, Palace Robot 8D8. You used to run Venom Industries. Have a little backbone.
Father!
Lothar Keel, the watermonger, approached Boba looking for his red stapler and should have been dismissed with a dodgeball. Borg are stealing water? Resistance to this plot is futile. Confirmed. Dank means crap. How do you play hiring a group of cyberpunk rejects to work for you? It's a shame Keanu went off to do his own thing. Camino! Looking for Pikes and finding Stormtrooper helmets on Pikes. Nice symbolism. Oh, hi, Pike Card. The only reason you were shown in that instance was to ensure that we knew that you were played by Sam Witwer, right?
Yes, I was waiting for the Sam Witwer cameo.
Boba rode that bantha into the wilderness. Really? Just like that? Boba leaves for 2 seconds and everything falls apart? Boba's sad. Again. Never knew Tuskens were so flammable. That's an awful way to wake up from a flashback.
It's the bandages. It's the
Very
bandages
dry.
that make them so yeah. There's no water.
BK is an absolute beast. Bro bear hugged my dude into having a toe cramp. Look at these years. Trying their best. Again, Boba, do what you do best. Shoot someone.
For real.
See, Boba, this is how you
don't
give a
shoot
gift.
nobody.
A raincoat is perfect for any occasion. Danny Trejo is killing it, just being himself. Papa Boba found a new pet. Dad didn't want a dog, but 10 seconds later. Witches of Dathomir reference. Oh, goosebumps. Wait, Boba wants...
Dude, we really glossed over that.
Yeah.
Like, we did not talk about the Dathomir reference, which
We
was...
were too busy imagining Boba riding the
Yeah,
giant
right.
dinosaur.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
to learn to ride the Rancor. This show just got a whole lot cooler. Boba was riding a beast 10 times its size? Hey now. Swoop Moped Gang? What is this, Rome? There he is again. The worst Twi'lek in the galaxy.
Best
Just
Twi'lek.
shoot him. Finnick is the only thing keeping this operation running.
Finnick's in this
This
show?
chase scene was brought to you by the Disney Channel original series, My Life as a Crime Lord Thug, starring Sophie Thatcher. Again, Happy Hogan and Cowboy Dave better start cranking things up because this episode felt slower than the bantha Boba rode through the desert. Get to the point. Guys, these were my poorly written show notes.
Lowest
BOBF
transportation ever.
It really is. I stole your line. It needs to be on us. We need it on a sticker. A 20-minute walk is a 40-minute
bantha ride.
Yeah, it was rough. Thank you, Jordan, the Cantina Splicer, aka the Casual Kid, for calling in with your poorly written show notes. Those were amazing, as always. We very much appreciate it. Now I'm super excited for the next one.
Who we got next?
The next one. Ooh, got a little feedback there. The next one is really the originator of why you're funny.
Oh my God. First of all, this piece
the
of
camping
crap
comedian. No, he
took
didn't.
my
No, he
joke
didn't.
and
No, he
then he
didn't.
tried to call in before I could say it when we
Hey there,
recorded.
Gibson. This is the camping comedian, long-time caller, first-time listener. Just wanted to give my thoughts on episode 3 of the Book of Boba Fett. That's right, I said it. Boomer Fett.
Oh,
I think the episode and the series summed up pretty well. And the end scene when he said, "We'll be ready." My question is, how is a slow, old, retired bounty hunter going to run a crime syndicate and be ready for a multi-fronted war when he has himself...
Yo, Matt sounds slow, old, and retired.
I know. He's forgetting how to speak
a lady
coherently.
who's had a recent
You can do it.
Swap out, and 5 or 6 punk rock kids.
True.
Against seasoned, experienced, hardened
syndicate
mercenaries and other war criminals.
True.
I wanted to like this show. I was so excited to like this show. Waited over a year from the credit scene at the end of season 2 of Mandalorian, and this has been as big a flop for the Star Wars franchise, in my opinion, as Falcon and Winter Soldier was for Marvel.
Yeah,
right.
Get them.
I
that
paused
show
it.
sucked.
I want to talk. Yeah, I want to talk about that real quick. Do you agree? My 3 episodes in though.
Yeah, I mean, if we're judging what's in, yes, I think the
Yeah.
show so far is a flop. Like, will that opinion change when you have the whole story of the first season and you are looking at it as a collective show? That could definitely change. We could
Right
have like
now-
a final 4 like banger episodes that just leave us shocked and awed.
Yeah. Right now I'm having
George Bush.
right now I'm having a little bit of, am I gonna go back and watch the show again? You know, is the
Oh, yeah.
rewatchability there? And right
Honestly,
now,
no.
like I'd rewatch episode 2.
I'd watch episode 1 just for the Sarlacc escape, just because it's like it's gonna be now a thing forever.
Yeah.
It's him getting out, and but not a whole episode, just like that scene.
Yeah, I agree. And I was referencing episode 2 because I'd watched the train heist again.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I completely and utterly saddened.
I forgot
that
this guy's
the
still talking.
memory of this iconic character is being
Iconic character.
treated in this fashion. That is all that I have for today. I'll hang up and listen.
Go to work, Matt.
Go to work. Well, you know, I don't like to pass judgment yet because we're not done with the show. But
if you compare it to Mandalorian,
it's troubling.
For three episodes in on either season 1 or 2, Mandalorian was like dramatically better. And I don't know if it's because Mandalorian, everything that we're seeing is brand new content, whereas this is new content but a long existing character. If that somehow makes it not as exciting, I don't know.
I mean, we have expectations for Boba, right?
Yeah.
And let's be honest, he's not meeting our expectations. I mean, it's definitely part of the problem, but
yeah,
I would love to ask, you know, Mark Rodriguez, where did you get the inspiration to have Robert? Thank you.
Yeah.
To have Boba running around in his underwear and a bathrobe for the first 3 episodes of the season,
covered in lube.
Yeah, like KY for everybody. Like, I don't know. It's just
Finnick must have been around later.
Oh, stop.
Our next guts.
Our next call in, Darth Paulo is back in the cantina.
Yes.
Yo, what up? So that episode was fire. All right. Dang, I'm so upset that I missed this last week, but I watched the episode. Fire episode. But as far as episode 3 goes, man, I think it was all amazing. They got the Rancor gifts was like the absolute highlight for me. I thought it might be Moochie. It's not Moochie. That's okay. I think it's he got a Rancor and he wants to ride it. Like, we have to get that by the finale.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I'm already happy that somebody is more excited than we are.
It makes me. Like, I'm immediately like, you know what? This episode was great.
Yeah. This is, you know, me and you. We always
easily
talk
swayed.
We always talk about being balanced, and I'm glad. You know, it's like me and you kept saying, "Hey, someone talk to us more about Bad Batch," you know, as a whole. And so I'm excited to already hear somebody was very, very excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
I am glad that it is not Moochie. Speaking of Bad Batch, you know, that was the tiny Rancor. Remember, I couldn't remember the name of the Rancor from. Yeah. I'm glad.
She imprinted on Wrecker, right?
Yeah,
did he
exactly.
imprint on Wrecker, or did he imprint on Omega? I can't remember now.
I can't read either. Probably.
I think it was Wrecker because he was following Wrecker around. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad that it wasn't, that it's not him. It would have been cool if it was. It would have been a nod to Bad Batch, right? But I'm glad that it wasn't, because that's that whole universe small thing that we always talk about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's the same rank. You know, I'm glad that it's not the same one.
Amazing. Appreciate the work y'all do. I don't know homie's name, but whoever calls in here and gives like his synopsis in like that super monotone voice, him, awesome, amazing. Appreciate him. My hot take for the week is that the speeder bike chase was cool, but why did it look like they were pushing a mean 35 to 40 miles an hour? You know what I mean? Like,
yo, bro, that's being generous. That's being generous, my man. I think he was a little slower than that, but totally get what you're saying.
I feel like they were trying to act like they were going real fast, but it looked slow, like visually. I just couldn't get into like it. You know, it's supposed to seem like an urgent chase, and then I was like, they're pushing like 40 miles per hour right now. It didn't seem serious to me until like she like skidded to a halt at the end. You know what I mean? But small gripe. Shout out to y'all for creating Swoop Bike Gang. We now have Neon Swoop Bike Cyborg Gang.
They're the Rowdy Ruckus
Never
boys.
thought we'd get that in Star Wars, but here we are. Amazing. Love y'all and the work y'all do. May the force be with you.
Darth Paolo,
be with you, sir.
May the force be with you too. Thank you for calling in.
I do think it's kind of weird that a Lord of the Sith is calling us and then telling us to may the force be with us.
Hey, you know, it'll just lead us straight to him, and then, you know, we fight it out. It is what it is. Of course, there can only be one. We getting these tallies going. Darth Paolo has entered himself another entrance into the grand prize that we'll be giving away at the end of Book of Boba Fett. The grand prize is actually just us being like an announcement date for Mandalorian season 3. That's actually no, I'm just kidding. That'd be funny. It's like, it's really not anything.
It's literally worth tens of dollars.
Yeah, no. Well, it's tens. No, it's worth more than that. It's worth more than that.
Well, this is Glenn Osborne, and I have to say, with a heavy heart, that I'm going to have to apologize to the Mandalorian. I know, we had a great time together. You were my favorite part of this new Star Wars era. We had a Mythosaur name drop, a nice classic creature. We had a Mudhorn, a Blurg, an Ice Spider, Tukas, a Grogu, and the Krayt Dragon, a creature I personally been wanting to see alive on screen for decades. And yes, he was glorious. However, with this, Episode 3, the Book of Boba Fett has stolen my heart.
Dude, I'm so excited.
This is a great call already.
Yeah, it's great because in this, we talk about this all the time, being balanced. I'm so happy that even though, and me and you didn't hate the episode, it just wasn't our favorite so far.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I'm super glad to hear that this is just shooting people over the moon with this episode. And I was kind of thinking too, like, with the backlash with the whole scooter thing, can you imagine being like one of those actors or actresses who like just got into Star Wars and everyone's like dogging them?
Yeah, that definitely sucks. But
that would suck.
I mean,
it's not their fault.
I mean, it's not their fault, but
it's not
also
their fault.
Doesn't take away from what the scene was at the same time.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to hear.
Yes, the Book of Boba Fett has become my favorite series in all of new Star Wars because now we have a Rancor. The Rancor, simultaneously the greatest movie monster of all time, but also the most loving pet that a keeper could ask for.
So depressed.
Greatest movie monster of all time. I
don't know. That's a stretch. It's definitely up there. It's definitely up there.
Okay, give me a monster movie you like better than a Rancor, because Rancor is really, really up there for me. But a lot of that for me is Star Wars, not the Rancor itself. I'm going with Jaws.
Monster movies, like Jaws. Does The Thing count as a monster movie?
Sure,
technically
100%. Yeah,
The Thing is absolutely fantastic. The
aliens themselves,
Tremors.
Alien. Oh dang, it's me and you love us some Tremors.
We do love Tremors.
We do
way
love
too
Tremors.
much. Way too much.
Alien. Alien is up there as one of the best movies. Yeah, the Xenomorph. Would you consider The Fly? Yeah, the Fly's gotta be
classic
movie
Jeff
monster.
Goldblum.
Yeah.
Life will find a way. Does Jurassic Park count as a movie a monster movie? Kind of.
What the
Jurassic Park? I
I don't know.
It's a giant creature. Just happened to be real.
Yeah. I'm gonna go.
But
no.
I mean, Rancor's still up there. If it's not
Rancor's
number
up
one,
there.
it's in the top 3. I would say easily.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes, I remember that blessed first appearance in Return of the Jedi. I screamed Cthulhu. I fought for my life with Luke Skywalker, and I wept with Mullah Keezy. Not only do we have a Rancor, but I also got a theme drop from straight out of The Courtship of Princess Leia, my favorite EU book, The Witches of Dathomir, The Rancor Riders.
I have not read that EU book, and now I want to, because he said that's his favorite EU book. So
the Courtship of Leia is his favorite, or is that two different books he's talking about?
No, he said that his favorite is The Courtship of Leia.
And it has the Dathomir Riders in that book. Yeah, no, I need to read that.
Yeah, I need to read that. I think that Goodwill find that you had, I think it's up
one
there.
Of those.
I think it's one of I think it's one of those. I have to look.
Adding that to my
list. Undeniably the most classic, and I guess we can say it now, the best Mandalorian, even if he doesn't claim it, Boba Fett, will become a Rancor rider. And well, I'm a bit overcome now. And hey, the Mandalorian will always have the Krayt Dragon.
That was
off?
I don't know if he cut off, but that was the end.
Was that 3 minutes?
No, it wasn't. Yeah, maybe something happened. We'll ask him. Great call in, Glenn. Very, very much appreciate it. Glenn got himself 3 more points on that one. The Rancor, his favorite movie monster. Like me and you said, definitely top 3. It was up there.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that was the highlight of the episode for me too. We talked about, how good it looked, visual, and with the digital rendering of the Rancor 2.
And now since Wednesday, when we recorded this, some behind the scenes pictures have started to surface, and we were in fact right, where we can see Danny Trejo and Tamora Morrison standing with the giant. It looks like they only built kind of like a
head
from like the shoulders forward, if that makes sense, when it was laying down. Yeah, and the back of it must have been CG'd, but the part that they interact with, the face, all of that was 100% real. So that's exciting. I can't wait to see what they do when they never gave it a name yet.
The Rancor?
I can't wait to find out what the Rancor's name is.
Yeah, I'd like to know too.
What if he named it Django? Daddy Django.
I would love to see.
That's why the flashback scene is happening, is he's very distraught for his father. So he names the Rancor.
Names it Django. We don't have, Boba has his crests, right? But that's kind of all EU stuff now, don't you agree?
All the reasons behind his family crests and
his fern. Like, what if he gets a Rancor crest by the end of the show? He kind of does it himself. Like,
I don't think I would like that.
Why? His throne's already got the Rancor, busts on it for the pommels of the hand rests.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all for. Rancors like Rancor skeletons, like their skulls are super sick. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't like that. Why wouldn't you like that?
I love the classic Fett's design, like the circle with the fern in it, the mythosaur on the other parts. Like, I would be a little turned off if they deviated from that.
He's got an open shoulder though. His right shoulder has no crest. Fern is on.
I could go as long as they don't delete the circle thing. Like,
but
I think that would
go ahead.
No, like I was taking it as you were saying he changes his crest.
No. He adds to it.
Additional, for sure.
Because those are all different points in his life, right? Like the mythosaur is the Mandalorian bounty hunter part, right? Then his crest is his fern thing. Finnick keeps saying throughout the show, like, you're the head of a house now. Well, if he's going to establish this house on Tatooine, he needs something to represent it.
Ooh, this is a good freaking prediction.
And having this Rancor crest of him establishing, beating the Pikes, whatever happens in the show, that's what everybody remembers. And we're already seeing even the Sand Riders, they have their own emblem, right? The K in Arabish. Like, come on, man. Boba could get himself a new crest.
I'm behind this now. You've easily convinced yet again.
I'm like, you're so swayable.
Next phone call hates the episode. This episode show.
Hey guys, this is Grant from Michigan.
Oh, let's start this over.
Hey guys, this is Grant from Michigan.
Grant.
Oh, Grant called. Nice.
Yeah, I wanted to go over Boba episode 3 here with you because I had some thoughts. And I know excuse me guys, it's like 2 degrees here. But I know Justin is going to see where I'm coming from with this, having a little bit of background on motorcycles himself.
Yes, sir.
But what was up with that wannabe swoop gang? First of all,
shout out to everyone using Swoop Gang. Okay, come on.
The Rowdy Ruckus Riders. I've already named them. This is the new
Lost
name.
Boys. The Lost Boys on their Rowdy Ruckus Riders.
The characters look like they're straight out of Cowboy Bebop.
Yes.
With a little Blade Runner-esque feel to them. And then those swoops. Come on, man. Not only were they Vespas without wheels.
I heard somebody, sorry to pause you again, Grant. He's talking about the Vespas specifically, right? Remember how they were completely flat on the bottom?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody talked about how it would have made them so much better if they would have had like a foil or something or greeblies on the bottom. The whole flat part was too hoverboard-like and took them out of it. And when they said that, I was like, oh my gosh, that's all I see now is that the bottom is flat.
Back to the Future reference that some people have made to the comparison. Yeah.
But also, has anything else ever been that clean or shiny on Tatooine? Those things were like picked up off the lot yesterday, but then these guys are stealing water from Office Space, mind you. So that was ridiculous right there for me. That kind of ruined the whole vibe. And then, of course, there was the 10-mile-an-hour city chase, which was so slow.
And
it was
so
almost
long.
ridiculous watching a chase happen at that speed. And then, of course, there was the Wookiee sneaking into Jabba's palace, which, if there's this gang and Fennec all watching Boba's back, how in the world does a 7-foot-tall Wookiee make it all the way to his quarters?
Good point.
Yeah.
That's a really good point.
So overall, this episode was just
Fennec taking
super
a nap.
ridiculous to me. Disappointing because it's just the writing's just not there, it seems. And once again, I just hope it gets better. But
see, I like the point that Grant is making, being so polar opposite to people that liked the call, because it's not the Rancor looked like crap. I hated this episode. It's not. It's nothing that people are seeing, right? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like people Glenn loved the Rancor, and that's what made the episode to him for the most part, right? Which is awesome, and it's not the bad speeder bike. You see what I'm saying? It's like you have at least it's not like this was good, this was bad, and then the people that are saying the two things that this was good and this was bad, they're the same thing put together.
Yes.
Good grief, man. That was just too much for me. Coming from a motorcycle background, seeing a Vespa gang, nothing makes me crack up more because it's ridiculous. In the biker world, like, Vespas are scooters. It's silliness. It's just too much. So, but hey guys, love the show. Keep it up. Have a good one.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Grant. I appreciate you calling. Yeah, Grant has been messaging me on Facebook and, talking about, his gripes and whatnot. I'm like, dude, call in. Be heard galaxy wide and have grandpas walk around.
If anybody's watching the video, my
Justin's grandpa,
86-year-old grandfather, just made an appearance on the show.
He's our newest member. Thanks, Grant, for calling in. I mean, listen, the speeder bike chase, yes, they were too shiny. I did like the style, though. I liked the over the top. We made the reference of the Bozazuko, Japanese style, race scene or street style scene. I think that's very obvious that's where that came from.
And I think your call of saying that if this just would have been on Coruscant, it would have fit tremendously better It's just the fact that it doesn't vibe with everything about Tatooine.
One thing that somebody said, though, that changed my mind a little bit is they were like, this reminded them of Cuba. When you go to Cuba, everything kind of looks like crap, and then you just randomly see like a Corvette going down the road. You see what I'm saying?
These guys weren't loaded.
That's true.
Like Grant said, like it's bright and shiny day one off the lot, but they're stealing their water.
Yeah, exactly. Our last call for the night is going to be from John Kuhn.
This guy snuck in.
Yeah, he
just wanted to call in about the show. Interesting episode. A little short. Not really all that exciting. So I guess, I don't know, a little disappointed in the episode. Definitely a setup episode. So hopefully this next one is going to be a lot better. I did not know I needed a 10-mile-an-hour Vespa car chase until we got it. And that was actually a little bit of I actually enjoyed it. So that was funny with all the good old colors. So, but yeah, overall, just kind of a meh episode. Be interesting to see. I'm leaning towards the Rancor being a trap, but we'll see how that turns out. And also, don't let anyone say otherwise, especially Justin. But I definitely invented Boomer Fett as a thing.
God dang it! How does he know? All of my friends are the worst.
Everyone's getting the originality before you, bro. It is what it is.
I really want to find somebody who's good enough at Photoshop to take the logo of the Book of Boba Fett and change it to Book of Boomer Fett.
A Book of Boomer Fett.
The Book of Boomer Fett.
We could do
Old man pets Rancor and yells at people
Rancor.
to go away.
Exactly.
I'm busy.
Go away.
Speaking of the Rancor, he made a good point that I don't think we talked about when we recorded on Wednesday directly after this. I'm seeing a lot of people thinking that the Rancor is a trap / Trojan horse of some kind.
Bruh, I said
depressed
that when we recorded Wednesday.
Did we? Okay. Well,
yeah.
I've seen
it's
a
trap.
Lot. You said a trap. Yes. You did say
I
that.
think that this
is the Trojan horse thing. The Trojan horse thing, like he's depressed. He's literally got a giant bomb inside of him, or something like that. Like, I love that idea. I don't think they do that because I don't think they would just ruthlessly blow him up. But that is a super Hut move to do.
Speaking of trimmers, just Mexican burrito everywhere. Yeah.
That is something I would 100% see the Hutts doing. And he's only been laying on his stomach, so you can't see the scar. And I that's an idea that's amazing that would never probably happen.
Yeah. I'd be all for it if it did. Guys,
Boomer Fett loses his dog.
And then turns into
back to Ruthless.
John Fett.
Yeah.
John Fett. Guys, thank you very much for joining us this week at KonKon's Cantina. As always, next week we'll be covering the 4th episode of Book of Boba Fett. And don't forget to call in, guys. Be heard on the podcast. Get entered into that grand prize. 407-900-5084. 407 Woo Yabi. And we'll see you guys next time. I was your boy, it's KonKon. And of course, as always,
Jay Breezy.
And we'll catch you guys next time.